What's up, everyone? You know who it is. It's your boy Mike, Hawk Crypto, and today I got my boy CW over here from Ergo. C-Dub, what's up, man? How you been?
Yeah, pretty good, mate. It's been a long time since we've had a chat, so it's a pleasure to be here on your show once again.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for coming. So what's going on, man? It's been about 6 months since we spoke last. What's going on with Ergo? How's it handling in the bear run? Give me some updates, man. What's good? What's going on?
Oh, where to start? Development's going pretty crazy at the moment in the ecosystem. So throughout the bear market, we've seen everyone building and whatnot. Development's going pretty crazy. So we're seeing a number of products actually coming to market now. One that's going pretty gangbusters at the moment would be Signify, which is basically bond contracts on Ergo.
Okay.
We've seen basically a 3 or 4x in the TVL on that skyrocket over the last couple of days. So people are putting all kinds of things. It's basically just a P2P contract. That's like an agreement between myself and yourself. There's no central contracts or anything like that. It's just a person-to-person DeFi bond contract, which is fantastic to see. But in addition to that, we're seeing like pool lending. Duck Pools is just about to release their product, which is pool-based lending. That's probably a month or two away. We've seen options contracts, that we've seen people running nodes on TVs, all kinds of mayhem in the ecosystem, which is fantastic to see.
So CW, what's exciting about Ergo right now? Like, what's one of the biggest things that's drawn so much attention?
Outside of the DeFi sort of protocols themselves, like the lending ones that I've mentioned a little bit previously to this one, I would have to say there is Rosenbridge. So what that is an Ergo-centric bridge framework. And what makes that unique is you can connect multiple blockchains. So you could connect Cardano to Ethereum, and the consensus is formed on Ergo itself.
Wow.
Ergo doesn't have to be connected to either of those, but it can facilitate those transfers. So Rosenbridge, we're really excited about that. That's in a public beta at the moment. Yeah, fantastic to see all the people contributing to the testing. Highly recommend anyone to jump on there. But also another one that pops into my mind is the Lethos protocol. And what that does is benefits miners greatly. So what it does is aiming to sort of take over the Stratum server side of things. Whereas at the moment, you kind of have a mining pool, which is kind of like a black box at this stage, where you submit your shares or the payout that you receive is based on the amount of shares. So you're kind of trusting the mining pool to do the right thing and provide you your share ratio that you're entitled to. So what happens with Lethos is basically puts all that verifiable on chain. So the share structure and everything like that you submit, it's all on chain, transparent and verifiable. The cool thing about that protocol is it's also blockchain agnostic. So you could mine Bitcoin or gas or anything like this potentially in the future,
Right.
And you could have that verifiable on Ergo, which is pretty amazing to see.
Yeah, there's nobody doing that right now. I've never even heard of it till you just brought it up. I mean, that's insane. So you can verify your transactions and all your stuff on Ergo while mining something else.
Yeah, correct. So
Wow.
blockchain agnostic, it's basically opening up and creating transparency for miners, which we're all about. So yeah, really looking forward to that one come to fruition.
Yeah, me too. Keep me updated on that one. Have you guys added a lot more developers now? Are you seeing more interest in the project?
Yeah, I'd have to say so. Seeing that across all our socials, a lot more engagement there. In regards to development, there's a lot more people sort of jumping into the core protocol and helping out there, and a lot of new faces and things. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people are actually sort of bringing their product to market now. So a lot of things have been in development over the last sort of 18, 12 months. And yeah, we're seeing the fruits of everyone's labor coming to fruition, which is fantastic to see, and starting to see the recognition that it's actually deserved, because all that hard work in the bear market, we all know what it's like. It's a bloody grind, isn't it? And
100%.
It's good to see some recognition on that front.
So there was a lot of criticism with Ergo going into the post Ethereum mining world, and I know it had a lot of issues. Has Ergo made a lot of improvements in that area as far as it's the mining, and are you guys making an improvement with the hash rate? Has there been any talks about maybe changing hash rates or any updates from the mining perspective?
From the mining perspective, there's been a bit of discussion once again on the difficulty adjustment algorithm.
Right.
Once again, we want to engage all miners and everything like that. Come and chat. Like that's what it's miners protocol. It's not the development's protocol. We don't have a say over everything. That's the miners govern the protocol as a whole. Come and raise some EIP, start the discussions and everything along those lines, because that's what sort of drives this engagement moving forward. But in regards to hash rate and everything like that, I think we're about 4x off the top of my head of hash rate compared to what we were previous to the Ethereum merge. So it's sitting around off the top of my head, I think it's about 25 terahash at the moment.
Right.
Which is pretty stable. It's been sort of fluctuating a little bit between 20 and 30 thereabouts, but profitability for miners, we all respect miners and the businesses that they're running. They've got incurred real world costs and everything like that. So yeah, it's huge respect to the mining community. And once again, on the Ergo front, in regards to development from the protocol itself, we're going to see a number of changes there where we can actually see light mining and all kinds of things like that come to fruition in the near future, which is pretty cool.
Nice. So I'm guessing you've had some major projects building on the network. Is there anything notable that's been recently added to the network? Any projects you guys really like that are building on the platform or anything like that?
So one big one, real world product is Palmyra, which is basically a commodity desk, and they've onboarded like a Sri Lankan tea company to trade tea in like commodity markets. They're onboarding a number of other sort of industries at the moment, which is pretty exciting to see people utilizing it in the real world context. Right. But on chain, we're seeing a number of lending protocols come to light. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, we've got Signify, which is a P2P bond contract, duck pools with the lending. We've got options contracts, which is coming out. There's a nice UI on that. Also, Dexy Gold, which is a pretty cool protocol. It's like a stable coin, but it's using one token, two protocols, and a central bank kind of scenario to peg the price of Erg to gold instead of USD. So it's a pretty interesting sort of concept there. But yeah, overall in the ecosystem as a whole, like the demand for SIG USD, for instance, our collateralized stable coin, it's kind of going through the roof. There's upwards of sort of 80,000 open demand on Signify for SIG USD, and at the moment, people don't want to part with their Erg because they can see some pretty nice things coming in the near future, I'd say.
Nice. So I know a long time ago I asked you about nodes. Are there any nodes getting on the network? Have you guys made any improvement in that area? Can people run a node on Ergo now? Update me, because I've been in out of the loop, man. Honestly, there's so much going on, and so
anyone can spin up a node. It's a lot easier now. We've got a product like for a full node wallet called Ergo. It's basically an executable. You just run it and away you go. We're actually seeing, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, also people running full nodes on TVs and smart devices and washing machines and things like that, which is pretty crazy.
Really?
So it's pretty amazing to see people run these on TVs. Like, it's pretty amazing sort of technology there. But on the node front, there's a lot of development happening in regards to bootstrapping and spinning up full nodes. So we've got a product called it's a UTXO set snapshot. So it's basically you've got your full node, which holds the entire state of the blockchain. Right. What the UTXO set snapshot does is look at a snapshot of the UTXOs, and it only goes back about 3 months because it doesn't really need any further data or knowledge of what happened prior to that, because everything's sort of carrying forward. And what that does is it enables bootstrapping of full nodes in a matter of minutes, which is pretty amazing. So yes, you can run full nodes on really small resource devices and as such. So in regards to that, people have been running nodes on mobile phones. They're actually utilizing the full node on their phone while also directing a mixer to that on their phone and a full node wallet, which is pretty cool. So you have the full experience and safety of running a full node on your mobile device and utilizing different dApps within the ecosystem.
So are there different tiers of nodes, and do you get paid out in Ergo for running a node? How does that work?
So you're kind of referencing kind of how the model is set up for Flux.
Yeah, right.
With
Is
their
it
sort of
similar to
tiers.
Flux? Because a lot of my viewers would want to know if is an Ergo node, do they get paid for it? Is it like Flux? How does it work as far as that structure goes?
Yeah, so Flux is a little bit different to what we do. So they're like cloud infrastructure as such. So they want resources to be able to host that, so bandwidth and storage, etc.,
Right.
to be able to run their protocol, etc. For us, it's basically just securing the whole state of the network itself. So at the moment, there's no incentive to run a node. But what it does is it provides you full node security to be able to interact with the blockchain, but also run off-chain services as well. So things like our Spectrum DEX has off-chain bots which executes transactions. And in doing so, it gives you a small reward. So there is ways to incentivize running a full node, but if you do run a full node, there's no direct incentive from running that.
No, of course, of course. So recently in the markets, there's been a lot of price discovery with a lot of the altcoins. I'm sure you saw it. Like, you know, you got projects like Meow Coin and Flux and all these projects that are seeing some recent price discovery. What's been the reaction with your community? Have you seen a lot more miners come on the network? Do you see more investment coming into Ergo? Also, has Ergo had any plans to get on any more exchanges? Is there any news in that area as well?
Yeah, so we'll start things off with like the price appreciation and everything. For ourselves, it's not really a focus. Development is heads down, bum up sort of thing. Like, we know in time, if we have a viable product, the market will then value that accordingly. And in my opinion, we're miles ahead on the development front. So it's just a matter of markets doing what they do, and we'll see what happens in the near future. So yeah, watch this space on that front. We have no control over the markets ultimately. So what we can do is build a viable product that people want to utilize, which is pretty cool. In regards to exchanges and such, we're actually seeing a number of smaller exchanges, which is pretty cool because their focus on not having KYC and privacy focused. It ties into the philosophy of what Ergo is, basically an open protocol for anyone to be able to utilize, privacy focused as well. So there's no KYC, there's no AML, there is no AML sort of aspect towards that. So what that means is anyone can utilize these products. One exchange actually has just recently listed Ergo. It's called 7Cs. It's relatively new to the market also, but number of privacy coins you'll see on there like Firo and Ergo Beam, I believe, and a few others. But what they've actually done is listed Ergo native tokens, so the first exchange to do so. So you can trade a number of things on there, such as Padea, ErgoPad, Sigma USD. Yeah, there's a number of things on there.
Awesome.
Which is pretty amazing. Active development, like always talking to exchanges and trying to get them to list Ergo, but having a limited treasury and obviously being a fair launched open sort of protocol, it's always difficult to try and get onto large exchanges because they may not necessarily charge a listing fee, but the marketing fee might be pretty hefty. So yeah, always open to that, and we'll see what happens in the future.
So a lot of people may want to engage with the community and see what you guys are doing and even offer suggestions. Is there a way that members of the community can talk to you? Is it Discord? Do you have another forum, GitHub? Where can people go and talk directly with Ergo and its community? Yeah,
sure. So anyone can reach out on any of our platforms. We have a number of things. So there's Twitter, Discord, Reddit, Telegram, for instance. The cool thing about Discord and Telegram, they're bridged. So if you're having a discussion on our main Telegram, it will then cross-post that to Discord. So none of the conversations are lost or anything across the board. So whatever your favorite platform is, by all means, reach out and start a discussion. I'll encourage everyone, especially miners, to come and engage and have conversations, because one thing I'd like to highlight also, it's just popped into my mind, is in the coming months, probably got 2 months, and we're going to see storage rent activated, which is an additional incentive for miners. So what that is basically a small fee for each UTXO, which is charged and claimable by miners if it hasn't been used or moved within 4 years. So we're going to start seeing UTXOs being able to be claimed from, or that fee claimed by miners. We want to see these discussions open up because you're a miner. if you want to see that additional incentive come through, you've got to engage with the mining pools and get them pushing or requesting all these additional incentives to come through, because it's ultimately an additional security subsidy for the mining community. So everyone come and engage. We're always open. Everything, all the conversations are open and transparent. Come and have a discussion. There is the Ergo forum. That's more so for more in-depth discussion. So for example, if someone had an idea for claiming tokens or something along those lines in regards to storage rent, raise a proposal on there and start a discussion. We've seen there's a number of channels in Discord, so the EIPs, anyone can jump on there and start spinning up and having a discussion. But yeah, the community members, the developers are always open for discussion. Come and have a chat.
Have there been more mining pools coming onto the project? Have you seen a number of pools adding Ergo to their platform?
Not necessarily. So we were really well positioned in regards to the amount and quality of our mining pools. So we had basically coverage from all the major mining pools across, but also we have a number of like community run ones as well. The hash rates tends to be a little bit smaller, but yeah, they keep grinding throughout the bear. One thing we have actually noticed beneficial to the ecosystem as well is the distribution of hash rate. So right. A little while ago, two miners had a really large percentage. I think it was upwards of 45%, I think it was at the maximum, which right. is getting a little bit sort of scary in regards to having total control of the hash rate. But now we're seeing the distribution of hash rate really well distributed across multiple mining pools. So I think at the moment there's 6 or 7 that have multiple terahash of the total hash rate, which is fantastic to see. And yeah, encourage everyone to distribute, but also come and jump in on the network and provide that security subsidy.
TW, I got one more question for you. Other than Ergo, which obviously you're a part of, are there any other projects that you like that you're keeping an eye on? Anything you have interest in personally?
I like what the FIRO and the CCX guys are doing. So Conceal Network. So obviously both privacy orientated coins. Once again, or even Alephium, just sitting there grinding through the bear, delivering on products, sort of not wavering on their mindset in regards to privacy and everything like that, which is one of the things that like I hold very highly in regards. So yeah, kudos to all those guys. One thing, big shout out also to the Flux team, the community engagement and seeing a number of products spin up on their platform, which is amazing to see. So yeah, kudos to all the GPU coins out there as well, grinding throughout the bear.
Can you run an Ergo node on Flux?
I dare say so. I'd have to look into it. I can't answer that straight off the top of my head. I dare say so.
That'd be interesting if you can. I'm pretty sure you can. I'm sure there's a way around it and there's a way to do it, because I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in doing it. Well, CW, thank you so much for coming on the channel, man. I greatly appreciate it. Any last comments before we sign off?
Yeah, one thing I'd just like to highlight also is, or two things. If anyone has any interest in what's going on in the ecosystem, they can get a nice summary on sigmaverse.io or ergcube.com. Two great sort of aggregators of what's happening in the ecosystem as a whole. So if you want to know what's happening in the ecosystem, jump on there and check it out.
Awesome. I'll make sure I put the links in the description below. CW, thank you so much for coming on the channel, man. I appreciate it. I'm out, guys. I appreciate it. I will see you on the next one. Hawk out.
Been a pleasure, mate. Have a good one.